The word Renaissance is a French word which means rebirth. In the 1200s, the Renaissance changed the life of people living in all of Italy. But by the 1500s, literature, art, and philosophy became subjects of trade. Large cities in northern Europe, such as London, Paris, and Amsterdam, soon became familiar with the movement of scholars and arts. This spread of ideas happened because of a man named Johannes Gutenberg, who in 1440 created the first ever printing press.
I am Johannes, inventor of movable type.
Prior to Johannes' creation, literature was handwritten, taking an abundance of time and money.
My inventions originated in China and Korea, but it is I who is credited. My invention made it faster and cheaper for printing, so soon everyone around Europe was able to buy and write stories.
With the spread of the Renaissance came the spread of humanism, the study of worldly objects. Humanism had a huge impact on European philosophy, encouraging writers to take more interest in daily life. European writers incorporated their ideas into philosophical works, poems, dramas, and more. Some of these writers, known as Thomas Campion, Ben Jonson, and Christopher Marlowe, used clever language to capture their audience. One of the leading Christian humanists went by the name of Desiderius Erasmus, a Dutch priest.
I am Erasmus, one of the most influential Christian writers in the Renaissance. With my writing came great conflict between myself and the Catholic Church. You see, I wrote my work so it can be read by humanists. But once the church got a hold of my writings, it was condemned.
These works are unjust. How disrespectful of you.
All of Erasmus's works were soon censored throughout the city of Paris. Protest reformers didn't allow or approve of most Renaissance culture. Some have prohibited the display of paintings, art, and sculptures on churches.
With the migration of Italians and English peoples, humanism quickly spread throughout England, and Renaissance literature began to revolve around the characteristics of the world.
I am Sir Thomas More, a close friend of Erasmus.
Sir Thomas More was among one of the most important humanists and statesmen in England.
One of my most biggest accomplishments was the release of my novel, Utopia.
More's novels strongly criticized the government and society that existed in England during the Renaissance. It was from his novel that the word utopia originated.
Unlike Sir Thomas More and Desiderius, who were both writers and philosophers, some writers were more devoted to entertainment, thus concluding the rise of humanism during the Renaissance. Among those writers was William Shakespeare, perhaps the greatest English playwright to have ever existed.
And I am William Shakespeare. My plays were made for an era, but they lasted a lifetime.
Shakespeare was known for combining comedies with tragedies, an ability only a few people possessed.
My works were contemporary, addressing natural, popular sciences.
Despite the educational aspects of Shakespeare's play, his writing style attracted the attention of everybody, intellectual or not. His plays were yet another contributing factor in the spread of the Renaissance ideas, and they changed the course of entertainment by shifting from religious matters to daily life.
Although public theaters didn't populate until the 1500s, my work became popular among all sorts of people.
Not all writers in the Renaissance were men. In fact, one of the most well-known writers is Christine de Pizan, an Italian poet and spokeswoman.
I'm Christine de Pizan, and I'm credited with some of the first works of literature regarding women.
From poetry to biographies, Christine was a skilled writer that discussed the role of women in morality. One of her most famous books, The City of Women, fights for equal rights and education.
Just as the Renaissance influenced the rise of literature and philosophy, it encouraged artists to adapt to Italian customs. Humanism caused Northern artists to capture a more realistic perspective.
Hi, I'm Albrecht Dürer, a German artist. Although my journey to Italy was to pick up Italian art skills, my paintings were mostly composed of wood, fabric, and oils.
Other famous artists include Jan van Eyck and Peter Bruegel.
The Renaissance was a time of improvements that shaped our modern-day world into what it is today.